Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is your Modern Tech Breakdown. Today, let's take a look at Google's latest loss in court over its search engine payments to Apple and others. Let's jump into it. First off, a little background. Every year, Google pays Apple somewhere around $20 billion in order to be the default search engine on the Safari browser in iOS. This arrangement has been in place for some time now and also has been under scrutiny for some time as well. In fact, this particular case started in 2020 when the DOJ and 11 states sued, claiming that Google was a monopoly. With that background, let's jump into this story by the Wall Street Journal. Google's antitrust loss set to reshape search and mobile industries. Google parent Alphabet's deals to get its search engine in front of users by paying to be the default browser on mobile phones has been declared illegal by a federal judge. Google now faces a range of potential consequences, almost all of which would reduce the number of search queries it handles. The most extreme possibility, pushed by some antitrust activists, would force Google to sell its Chrome browser or Android mobile software business, ending its ability to directly integrate search into both. A professor said the judge is more likely to put an end to Google's practice of paying to be the default search engine on devices and browsers from companies like Apple and Samsung. So just speculating here, I really don't think the judge is going to split up Google and split away Android from Google on this. As the article says, I think the court is most likely going to outlaw the default search engine deals. So the judge has ruled Google has illegally used its dominant position in the marketplace to maintain its monopoly. This is a really serious issue for Google. As I've mentioned many times before, search is something like more than half of the parent company Alphabet's revenue. This lawsuit is a direct threat to Google's future. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the legal theory underpinning this case. There's two main questions that the court has ruled on that have gotten us to this point. The first major point is that the court has declared that Google does, in fact, have a monopoly in the internet search marketplace. While it's obvious that Google is very dominant in search, and without fully knowing, I'm not a lawyer or don't know the full legal definition of a monopoly, I'm not sure I agree with that. It's rather trivial for users to switch search engines. Certainly a lot easier than, say, switching your electricity provider, which is basically impossible for the vast majority of people. Second, the court has found that Google has abused its leading position by signing contracts that impede the competitive process and prevents new entrants from grabbing market share. This is probably where Google has a tough argument to make. Surely making arrangements to be the default search engine helps Google keep its dominant position. All right, let's wrap up by talking about winners and losers here. First, let's talk about Google. It would seem that Google is the big loser here, but perhaps not. It does seem that Google will start to see a decline in the number of searches coming from devices where the deals are no longer allowed, assuming that's what the judge decides. But if Google's brand is strong enough, they may not lose a huge percentage of those searches, and it's possible that the money Google saves from not paying Apple and others is more than the lost revenue from the decline in search volume. So it actually may be a good thing for Google. However, these device makers now free of these agreements could highlight other search providers more prominently, which could really eat into Google's market share. Next up is Apple. Apple is most likely going to lose a very nice revenue stream as a result of this. Unless they build their own search engine or can create a revenue stream in some other way, I think they're going to miss those sweet, sweet Google payments. Lastly, other search providers, Bing, DuckDuckGo, companies like that are clearly going to win in this scenario. This ruling is likely to increase their market share somewhat. Which ones will win remains to be seen, but I think this has to be viewed as a positive for them. And to wrap this up, I'll just point out that this is still very early stages. The judge hasn't even ruled on what the remedies are going to be. That probably is still several months away. And even after that, I'm sure Google will be appealing this ruling. So this story is really just beginning. But with that, I'll wrap up this video. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.